Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe.
So, let's get into today's video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at Shadow Flygon. In my quest to make yet more unique Shadow content, we are going to take a look at the Forgotten Dragon. Why is Flygon not as commonly used as things like Dragonite and Giratina, or even the newly quite popular Dragalge? Well, I believe that is due to its ground subtyping, as all them dragons mentioned resist the elements such as grass and water, whereas Flygon's ground typing actually makes it neutral. Its lack of bulk and being neutral to these does mean it struggles against starter Pokemon such as Swampert and Venusaur. Also, it's double weak to ice, whereas the other dragons obviously have bad matchups against ice, but they can kind of hang with them. They can at least chip it down, whereas Flygon gets absolutely shredded. With this in mind, I've paired it up with both Snorlax and Drapion. I've done this because obviously it's really weak to ice. These two do right against the ice types. It's going to be super weak to Charm. These two beat Charm. And obviously it's going to be really weak to that really annoying Cresselia. So we've got two answers for Cress. Let me tell you, I went on an 8-game losing streak the first time I tried to run this team. It was quite difficult. However, we eventually got it to click. And without any further ado, let's get into the battles. So in game 1, we do face one of these annoying starters. Most dragons, even Dragonite running Dragon Breath or Dragon Tail, does have a fairly decent matchup with Empoleon, as you both be hitting each other for resisted. However, our Flygon is getting really chunked by these waterfalls, so we let them build up to 5 and we catch the Hydro Cannon on Snorlax. That does massive damage. We're met with a Venusaur. I know I'll survive this Frenzy Plant, only just 1 HP in a dream, and I go straight away for this Body Slam. I obviously can't afford to shield my Snorlax, as we wouldn't win this matchup anyway. Now you're going to see, like I said, the elements are hitting us for neutral, so again we're going to wait out our switch time and bring back in Flygon. Look at these Vine Whips. Just fast move damage. We've took 5 waterfalls and a few Vine Whips and we're already below half health. So we immediately go for the Dragon Claw to take him out. Back out comes Empoleon. We build up to the Earth Power and we bait the Dragon Claw. We hope to grab a shield, which we do, and now I instantly swap into Drapion. The opponent is staying in. Drapion doesn't have the best matchup with Empoleon. However, we're going to have to try and draw this one out. So we overfarm massively. Just before they get to their next Hydro Cannon, I fire off this Crunch. Crunch will get him quite low, but I don't think it'll take him out. We actually draw a shield. So now I'm going to have to shield this next move up, and I'm going to look to overfarm before taking him out. I imagine as they've stayed in, they've either got a Giratina or Cresselia in the back. And I was right, here is Cresselia. So Shadow Drapion's got a good matchup here. However, we are low on health and we can't tank a Moonblast. So we go for the Crunch, we get the defense drop. And now I'm going to go for this second Crunch. My only win con at this moment is to catch a move. So I switch out as they get to the Moonblast. We catch the move. They no bubble it. And I actually cannot believe that a no bubbled, we managed to survive. So now we're going to hope this Dragon Tail does enough damage. We get them fairly low. They're now definitely in Crunch range. And now we're going to look to try and raise. And just as Empoleon reaches the Hydro Cannon, we reach the Crunch, we lose CMP, and unfortunately that right there is a good game. So you can see there we had a really difficult matchup. We did make it super close. I believe the win con there would have been that I would have had to wait the full 50 seconds out, as my switch timer would have come up before theirs, and then I would have got the 1 poison sting required to win CMP. However, I'm far too impatient for that, so good game to the opponent. Moving on into game 2. We pick up a lead against Obstagoon. Obviously, Obstagoon is pretty bad for this whole team. These counters absolutely shred us. Snorlax would be doing triple resisted damage with Lick, and Drapion's Poison Stings hardly do anything, and we would be taking neutral from counter. So, I did commit a shield, as I haven't really used Flygon against Obstagoon, but I do know that I think we will win the 1 shield. Let's see if the opponent wants to go down 2 shields. The opponent actually goes down 2 shields, and you can see we get it super low. So at this stage, I'm going to bring Drapion in, and the opponent actually switches out into a Mott. So here, I believe that the win con is going to be that we're going to hope that Drapion with energy can take whatever's in the back. So we get acid sprayed, which is fine. We bank a load of energy and now we switch into Snorlax. So again, I'm not going to shield this up as I don't want to shield an acid spray. I am going to rely on Drapion with a shield taking the back line. We've seen 2 dark types. So most of these, they'll either have a poison or perhaps something like a cress in the back. So we don't shield that acid spray. At this stage, I'm really hoping we survive a dark pulse. I don't want to shield Snorlax. Unfortunately, we don't survive, which is really unfortunate. We was at the body slam, so now Drapion's got a huge amount of work to do. We fire off the sludge bomb. I'm looking to try and poison sting down. Once again, we can't poison sting down. I'm not going to shield, expecting an acid spray, which it is, but now we're in a rough spot. They switch out into Obstagoon. So I'm going to have to shield this up in case it's a cross chop, which it is. And now I go straight for this Crunch. Crunch, even resisted, will KO from this range. I do undercharge it, hoping to get a poison sting, but it is enough to take him out. They bring back in Mach. So that's great for us. We do manage to poison sting it down. In the back's a Nidoqueen. So this is where you really wish you was running Aquatails. If I was running Aquatail, this would be a GG. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to 3 crunches before the Nidoqueen manages to get to a resisted Poison Fang. So you can see there, we managed to go 0-2. Moving on into game 3. Let's see if we can pick up a win in this third match. So we get a really positive lead against Talonflame. I'm so used to losing CMP to Talonflame that I try and CMP tie him, but the squishy Shadow Flygon actually wins CMP. They've got enough for the Brave Bird. Whatever they do here, I am just going to shield and farm down. They go for the Flame Charge. However, they're not going to reach the second move, so we Dragon Tail down. We've now got a perfectly healthy Flygon, and they bring in Cresselia. So I bank a load of energy, and I bring in the thick boy Snorlax. This is what I was talking about at the start of the video. We've got 2 fantastic answers for Cress. So we bring in Snorlax, as we've got obviously the even better answer in the back with Drapion. They bring in Alolan Mach. So at this stage, we're just going to look to try and get damage off. And the win con here for me is saving that shield for Drapion. So Snorlax is going to go for the body slam spam. The Mach actually draws a shield, so this is great. We're now in even shielding scenarios, and Drapion will beat Cresselia in even shields. So Mach goes for a move. It is the Dark Pulse. They are going to have to fire off one more to take us out. So just as they reach it, we fire off this body slam. This is going to get the Mach really low. They actually double shield, so I come in with a Dragon Claw, hoping this does enough damage. Perhaps I should have went for the Earth Power. You can see it doesn't quite take him out, but again, I'm not going to look to shield as Drapion is our win con. We do survive the Dark Pulse. I'm going to go straight for this Earth Power as I expect this to do quite a lot of damage, which it does. Look at that, it does huge damage to the bulky Cresselia. The Cresselia is that low, I can now bring in Snorlax, and they're going to have to throw their energy or they would get licked down. So we're not going to shield, we're just using Snorlax once again as a damage sponge. We soak that energy up and we bring in Drapion. I'm not going to shield this move up. Whatever it is, I expect it to be a Moonblast. It's not going to do enough damage. You can see we can tank 2. I'm looking to try and Poison Sting down, which we do successfully. And we can now Sludge Bomb this Alolan Mach in the back for a win. So we finally find some success. We're off to a 1-2 start in the set. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going into game 4 of the video. So in game 4, we pick up a lead against the Gengar. This is the Battle of the Glass Cannons. We build up some energy and we look to switch out into one of our types that resist Ghost, both Dark and Normal. And we draw out Obstagoon. This is great for us as obviously Snorlax really doesn't want to see Obstagoon. So we go straight for this Sludge Bomb. And the opponent actually shields. This is because they really don't want their Gengar to see our Drapion. I am going to let this go through. Even a cross chop we will survive, which is great for us. And we'll get to this second Sludge Bomb. This should do a nice bit of neutral damage, which it does. The Obstagoon is now down to around half health. So we bring out our Flygon. I'm hoping this Dragon Claw takes him out. It should be quite close, but Obstagoon is really bulky. You can see they survive with 1 HP, which is really gutting for us. I'm not going to shield up Flygon. Night Slash does huge damage. Night Slash isn't really a very big move, but it does do a lot of damage. And we know the Gengar's coming back in, looking to try and get off a move. So we immediately switch into Snorlax. And now we've got Snorlax versus Talonflame. Talonflame, you get the invisible Incinerate once again, so you can only see 2, but they're already at the move. I'm not going to shield this first one. However, we are going to have to start shielding up from here. You can see a bit of lag, really weird that I throw a charge move and I get a lick through. But this Body Slam does draw the last shield. Even though Snorlax is super low, I am going to shield up this next Flame Charge, as I'm going to look to try and get this next Body Slam off. So this next Body Slam is going to get him quite low, which it does. And I look to try and snipe with Flygon, which we do successfully. We're now at the charge move, and Flygon manages to clutch out game 4 of the video. So Flygon shows its worth. Well, actually, they don't quite take it out, but one more Dragon Tail will be enough. So GG's to that opponent. Off to a 2-2 start. Can we somehow recover this and make it a positive set? You see one of the worst possible leads. We lead our Flygon into Togekiss. So already it's not looking great. The Togekiss banks an absolute boatload of energy. When I say a boatload, it doesn't generate energy very quickly, but they've got a nice jump start on energy for when it comes back in. They give us a huge energy lead and switch that into Dragonite. This is going to mean the Dragonite is going to have to really start shielding, so we are going to absolutely pepper them with Body Slams. So at this stage, even though I am quite low, I am going to shield up this move and I'm going to get another Body Slam. So now the Dragonite's going to have to commit both shields or lose switch advantage. Either way, it is fine for us. They draw a second shield, so I'm going to look to try and save that Snorlax. I'm going to bring back in Flygon, and essentially at this stage, I am just going to sack the Flygon. So the thought process here is, I know Togekiss is going to come back in, and they are going to be switch locked. So I'm going to bring in Drapion. I'm going to look to get a bucket load of energy on the switch locked Togekiss. I am going to have to try and respect the Flamethrower, hoping they don't Ancient Power us. They do Flame for us. So here I'm going to get a boatload of energy and have a nice jump start on whatever's in the back. So we go for this resisted Crunch. I am almost the back-to-back. So Crunch takes out Togekiss, and let's see what they bring in. They bring in Empoleon. So we're still in a bit of a rough spot, but we should be able to clutch this game out. I am now hoping they don't catch the sack. So I throw in the middle of the waterfall. This Crunch is going to get him super low, and the wink on here is now I'm going to try and lick down everything. So back in comes a low health Dragonite. We lick down Dragonite and we lick down Empoleon. So saving that Snorlax and switching out was essentially our win con, as Flygon wouldn't have had a good matchup in the back anyway. So even though it's a Flygon showcase, I essentially just used it there to try and draw back out the Togekiss, and that gives us the win. So we went 3-2 in this set. Would I recommend this team? Definitely not. Flygon is incredibly squishy and incredibly hard to use. Perhaps if you put it with some more meta monsters, maybe a couple of big bulky ones like Cresselia and Registeel, or Cresselia and Giratina, or maybe not Giratina, as you'd have a real bad ice problem. So maybe either Giratina, Cresselia and Registeel, sorry. You might find some success, but in a triple shadow team comp, this thing was ridiculously hard to use. I went 8 straight losses. I won my 9th game. I lost the 10th, and then I obviously went 3-2 in this set. So I think that's 4-11 overall. We did tank a lot of points, but I think it made for some entertaining battles. And on this channel, we are willing to try anything. So there it was, Shadow Flygon. If you enjoyed this content and you enjoyed seeing me tank around 130 points, drop a like, drop a comment down below if you've got any shadows you'd like to see. Just like to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.